Board now, as you can see. It's not going anywhere where anyone can see it, but it's recorded. All right. Good. So that is so like improv. It's so like improv. I've never made an improv plan that I didn't have to change, and improvise. Uh, so what this isn't supposed to be, this little workshopy thing we're doing here. Remember that? This is not intended to be one of those. You who know me, you know, this is not one of those unicorn fart, rainbow kind of things where, hey, we all hug each other and say we're glad that we're each breathing, and that's good enough. I that's fine, but there are other people that do that sort of thing better than me, so I don't want to do that. I really want to go over a couple of things and just get us to do good scene work. We're not going to talk about formats. I don't care about formats. We're not going to talk about. I'm not going to really talk about short form, although there might be one thing that I have us do. And we're just going to go over simple stuff. Some of it you've heard me say before, some of you, or you've read me write before, but it's been a while. So I'm going to try and get as much of it crammed in as humanly possible. How does that sound?
Great.
Good. I'm glad something sounds good. So hang on there. Let me just see what's going on here. Who's got the noise going on in the background? Adam's got the noise going on in the background.
Sorry.
That's okay. What's that?
It's my cat scrounging for his food.
Oh, don't worry about it. It's not that. Yeah,
okay.
I can filter it.
No, he fucked off. Don't worry.
Don't worry. I'm about to go get my cat because I'm going to use my cat as an example of something. Quite honestly.
Do it.
Well, yeah. She's kind of
in
cool.
Good time.
She's chilling in the green room right now. I got her the blue M&Ms, and she's good.
Very specific rider. Very specific rider.
So maybe I'll just go get her now and do the thing that I wanted to show you guys, just to get us rolling. Okay, I'm going to leave you for 15 seconds. Go get her, and I'll be right back. Okay, so talk amongst yourselves. Lee, just keep talking. It's working out.
Working on it.
Keep talking.
Will there actually be a cat?
I think there will be a cat.
I would bet yes. Anybody taking the no?
I really want him to come back dressed like a cat.
Yeah, that would be better.
It's gonna be a puppet cat.
Ooh.
That was
talking to something.
Yeah.
Hey.
He's telling the truth.
Okay. Here we go.
Welcome to Cat House Theater.
Okay.
Oh.
This is Olivia.
Hi, Olivia.
Yeah. Charlie is way too cool to even agree to do this. So it's just going to be Olivia and me right now. Olivia and I are going to do an improv scene for you right now. Are you ready?
Oh, yeah.
A very short improv scene. Me and Olivia. Here we go. No, I never said that about you, Steve. No, man. Hey, we're good. We're pals. I thought we were pals. What? You look, man. I took the car to have it fixed, man. Yes, I did. I used the regular guy. Oh, please. Are you serious? You like that guy. You always like that guy. Son of a what? Son of a bitch. What the? Look, you paid him. I paid him. Okay, I'm a little disappointed in you too. Okay, no, fine. Okay, fine. Yeah, fine, man. Okay, fine. No. Yes, I love you. Yes, I do. But this can't go on. This is just irresponsible. Okay, then. We good? Okay. Okay. You got the popcorn, right? Not the buttered shit. Not the buttered stuff. Not the buttered stuff. Okay. Thank you, Olivia. Okay. Hello. Okay. So what was the point of that?
Olivia didn't talk.
That's true. She did not. She didn't talk, and she didn't really even know what was going on. Let me go let her out. She's
Now
stuck
she
in-
talks.
Talking once she gets up.
Stage fright.
No, improvisers don't get paid.
Lee, are you okay? Can you hear us?
Yeah, I'm just trying to connect you.
He's in a bad way.
Got it.
I'm working on it.
Okay.
Yep. We can still hear you though, so that's good.
Okay.
Was the number of points really. One, while we were doing that scene, who were you looking at more? Me
The
or
cat,
Yeah,
100%.
the cat.
Of course you were. Yeah. Normally you would anyway, but yes, you were. Why? Why were you looking at the cat? Because anybody would be. Why do you figure?
It was funny when she'd react and how she'd react.
Yeah, and in most cases she didn't really react at all, which is a reaction.
That's true. And then when she just like turned her head a little bit, it was funny.
Yes, right. So, what does that say about all the stuff I was doing? About my role in that? And what you
It didn't really matter what you were doing or saying. We were watching her. We were
Yes,
watching her
right.
reactions.
Yes, it doesn't really matter all that much. So, if it doesn't really matter all that much what I was saying, then why do improvisers spend so much time worrying about what to say? About if I get on the stage, what if I don't know what to say? Who gives a shit? Who gives a shit? It's about as I said, it's not about how you affect the scene as much as it is how the scene affects you. And so the reason you were watching her is because she was interesting, because she was you could say in a way low status. That she was she had to put up with me. She had to take the shit that I was dishing out, and you felt sorry for her a little bit, a tiny bit. If that was a human doing that same thing, you would have felt sorry for them, like, oh, that guy's being a real jerk to this person. And so you empathize with them, you sympathize with them, and you care about what they're thinking. And if that cat, if Olivia was capable of showing more emotions facially, then you would have been riveted to her face, because that's where it's all mostly at. So it's not just about I can do improv with my cat. Anybody can do improv with their cat or their dog. It's about how do you do improv like a cat? How do you do improv as though you are one? Not all the time. No, you can't be that character all the time. You can't always be the silent one who's waiting for things to happen to them. Wow, did you miss a biggie?
Yeah, I'm so sorry. I apologize, everyone.
It's okay. It's you can check it out on YouTube when we're done. Seriously.
Something good?
Yeah, well, I did improv with my cat.
Nice.
He's not lying. That is not a lie.
That is not, I don't lie. I don't lie. Why lie? Telling the truth is so much more fun.
Probably was better than some of the improv I did with you.
Well, she didn't have any mic problems. That's one. No, seriously.
Can I just do a quick mic check? How's this? Better?
It is good.
Yes.
Why would you do?
How you doing, Dan? I just did the Bluetooth. I got rid of the cord.
Yeah! Son of a bitch. Cut the cord, man.
Cut the cord, Lane. It's about time. You're all grown up.
Damn it. So how why would you want to do this? Why would you want to do improv like you were a cat? I mean, what benefit would that have for you as the improviser?
Get to do less and not think as much.
Right. There's two words that you can reduce that to. It's easier.
Easy, yeah.
It's easier. Everything I'm about when it comes to doing improv scenes, it can be reduced to it's easier. Everything. But why should you have to struggle? Why should you need to have an improv instruction book that's 400 pages long? Why should you have to be that golfer who is okay? Is my chin tucked down? Is my hands in the right position? Am I holding the thing? Is my stance right? Is my shoulder dropped? Is my arm? Is my elbow? Am I keeping my head down through this trick? Why should you have to worry about all that shit when mostly all you have to do is nothing? Most of the time, nothing is the perfect thing to do in improv. Most of the time. It can be followed by something, but you don't have to worry so much about, oh God, I'm going to be lost if I do a scene with this person because I'm not going to know where it's going. No, of course not. It's not about that. We don't care. We don't care. We don't care where it's going. I don't know what that scene I just did with Olivia the cat was about. I don't know. Well, what was the plot? Who knows? I don't know. Something. Did you care? Were you interested in how it was all going to turn out? No. You were interested in the moment, in the instant as it was happening. And I don't think you were thinking, boy, where's this going? Who cares where it's going? Yes, it's going to go somewhere. And then eventually, when you begin to see, okay, that's where it's going, then great, then you can see it. But we need to get rid of that idea in our heads ahead of time, that we need to control stuff and we need to know where it's going to go. And that if I don't have an idea then I shouldn't be in a scene. Who needs your fucking idea? This isn't a think tank. We don't need ideas. We need emotions, or lack of emotions, which is another emotion. So, especially doing online stuff, Zoom prov, doing rectangle prov. That's why I named the show Shitty Improv, partly because we sometimes do shitty improv on purpose and it's funny, but also because online improv is shitty improv. I don't care how good you fucking are. Even live improv recorded and watched later on a screen is shitty. It's stale. But you can make it better. And one of the things you can do to make online improv better is to think less and emote more. Because the thinky shit gets lost. The verbal shit definitely gets lost, especially if you're Lee. The verbal stuff gets lost. But the emotional stuff doesn't. And that's what could possibly save online improv. Doing scenes with emotion. and very little else. Okay, so any thoughts or questions before we start doing some actual scenes?
So when you say emotion online, so would emotion be more of an emotional facial gesture, or is the emotion more of like a body gesture? Like, how do you show more emotion online, or is it through the tone of your voice?
Well, it's a good question. Partly it's got to be the tone of your voice. If you in a situation where you can move around and then you can do it physically. You know, they say emotion is motion. You know, it's how you whenever you move anyway, it transmits something, and it's really hard to feel an emotion without moving differently, or at the very least talking differently. So there are different ways to do it, but I think online we'll talk about exactly that, how to do that here, you know, and it works in person as well. But the limitations that we have here, if we overcome them, when we finally do get back on the stage again and we keep what we've learned here, we're going to be better on the stage. If we can, it's like warming up in the on deck circle of a baseball game with a very, very heavy bat, putting that ring on the bat. And then so that when you get up to the plate and you take that thing off, your bat feels light. So if we can do this, then by the time you get on stage, the improv will feel lighter.
Yes, we got our rings on right now.
Yeah, we're stuck. We're stuck. We're magicians who can't use half the tricks that we know. So we're stuck with certain tricks that will work. So just do them really well, you know. So before I take up more of your time with blah blah blah, let's do some scene work. Let's just do some two-person scenes. I can move people around and I can put people next to other people, which is why I didn't want to use. Another reason I didn't want to use Zoom.
Exactly that.
So I'll just stick two people together, and you'll just do a scene. Let's see, can I do it this way too? I never usually use this method. Yes, this works. So the two people up on top are going to be the ones. Let me see if I've done it right. Yeah. So the two people up on top right now, Lee and Marissa, you'll do a scene. Everyone else will watch. And when it's someone else's turn, we'll just move people there. Okay. So we don't have to shut off our cameras in order to make this work. Just know that the people sitting next to me are the ones in the scene. Eventually, we'll do more than two people in the scene, but. So let's start. Let's just go. I'm not going to give you input. I don't give a shit about your input. I don't care about it at all. I never do. So just go. Just do yourself a 2.5 minute scene, and I don't care what it's about, what you do, who you are. Whenever you're ready, go ahead.
All right. Yeah. And sister, are you still putting the vodka in the gasoline tank at night?
I don't know what you're talking about. I haven't had vodka in any. What were you asking me?
I was asking you about if you're still putting the vodka in the gasoline tank at night.
Gasoline.
Yeah, because before you were putting it in the morning, and I said, "Can you wait till the nighttime?" You said you were.
Oh, so that's where all of that went. Oh, I think there might be something wrong with the car now, because yeah, I may have put more than just vodka in the tank.
Did you Grenadine in there?
Put what in there?
The grenadine.
No, I drank the grenadine.
Oh, you drank the grenadine.
And the brandy. I think there might be some tequila in the car, and there's that wild turkey is like gone. So I think I may have put it there.
I think I hear the wild turkey. I think he wants to get in that gas tank.
Yeah, that's possible. I may have put some small animals in there too. It's a little blurry last night. I'm still kind of, I'm okay though. I'm okay. I'll be fine. But really, you may want to look for the hamster.
Did you put the hamster inside the wild turkey bottle like you did a couple weeks ago when we couldn't find him?
Well, I remember picking up the hamster
Right.
while I was juggling one of the bottles. And
double fisted. That's how you like it. Double fisted.
Yeah. I still have the bottle, but I no longer have a hamster.
And scene. Thank you. Nice job. Thought I started off with a hamster. If you can't start an improv show with a hamster, I'm quitting. So let's do notey kind of things, and then we'll go on and give other people a chance to really fuck things up. I mean, I've done it long enough. So some of the things I noticed, and Lee, you asked a whole lot of questions. Most people would tell you not to do that. I would never tell you not to do that. And neither would Dave Rosowski. That whole fucking thing about don't ask questions is bullshit. It's fucking bullshit. It is just not true. It's got nothing to do with anything. You can ask as many goddamn questions in an improv scene as you want. Marissa, you are not, it's okay to answer the questions, but you are not bound to answer questions. The thing that trips people up with questions, which is why they think questions are bad in a scene, it's not the question, it's the answer. We shouldn't have to tell ourselves not to ask questions in a scene. We should tell ourselves, you know what? I don't have to answer any questions in the scene. In fact, it's often funnier or more engaging if I don't answer most of the questions. A question in an improv scene is just a statement with a question mark at the end of it. I can ask you all the questions I want. You are not bound to answer them. You got your own shit. So you don't have to make it about what the other person is trying to make you make it about, because it doesn't matter. If you refuse to answer the questions and just do your own shit, it now becomes about why doesn't this person answer this other person's questions? And now it's not about the gas tank and the hamster, which is fine. It's about these two people. What's with these two people? This relationship that they have, he keeps asking her stuff and she never answers it. What's with them? So we eventually don't care as much about the hamster and the gas tank, which is fine. We care about what's going on here. You know what I'm saying? So don't worry about the questions, and never worry about the answers. All right. There's any thoughts about that from anybody?
I think that's huge. Just hearing it's not about when somebody asks a question on stage, you feel like you have to have an answer right away. So that's helpful for me to hear. It's not about the answer. Maybe don't. And when you said it's about the relationship, that's more interesting in the scene. Who are these people to each other?
Yes.
And I do think we get tied up in needing to answer the questions. We don't want to get it wrong, and we don't want to leave our partner stranded. So we have to answer. So that was helpful for me to hear.
Right.
Wow, look at this. Fancy.
There you go. There you go. That's correct. Answering a question isn't wrong. It's just not required. So yes, it does become about the relationship and the unanswered questions. And if someone in your scene is annoying you, if the actor is annoying you by asking a lot of questions, if that bothers you, you can simply say, you sure ask a lot of damn questions. And the other actor now has the choice. Well, fuck you, I'm going to keep asking them. Or, ooh, I guess I've been doing that. It doesn't matter which. Neither is wrong. So, any other comments about that concept? Nothing. So, another thing I noticed was the cat's cool. The cat's perfectly cool. Really.
He's going to keep meowing now.
Don't worry about it.
Adam's not. Adam's not cool. The cat can stay. Adam,
Yeah.
go.
He heard there were cat improv auditions tonight. So yeah. So it's not about control. And so when you ask a lot of questions, often it's like you're trying to control something. Like, hey, I want this scene to be about this thing, so I need these answers so that I make sure that this stays on course to be about this thing. But we can fuck you over by not answering them, and that's fine. And when we do that, you're going to get pissed. And when you get pissed, you're going to show it. And when you show it, that's an emotion, and suddenly that we can play with that emotion. How cool. Anything else? Any other comments about that idea? And we'll move on.
Just out of curiosity, like it didn't, like their relationship was never quite clarified, and that's fine as well. Like we don't really care about like how they know each other and stuff.
In a 2.5-minute scene, people will tell you, you got to get in relationship, location, context, point of view. You got to get all those things in a scene. And in short form, that's true. And in certain formats, it's necessary. If you have a director who knows anything about improv, they'll tell you, for this format, we really need to front load that stuff so that we can do our Laurents and everybody knows who the characters are. But in just a 2-person improv scene, I don't care. I once did a 20-minute scene with Dave Rosowski. I've done a lot of them with him, but I once did one. Casey's got it recorded somewhere. It's the best thing I've ever been involved in. And I don't know what our relationship was with one another. And he never let me finish a sentence. Never. Until the very, very end. And his character never let my character finish a sentence. And he was enraged by everything that I started to say. And when I caught on to that's what was going on, it was so freeing. It was like, oh shit. So I can just say the beginnings of the most ridiculous sentence possible, knowing that I won't have to finish the sentence. And it was the best. People were falling over themselves laughing. I couldn't believe how good that was. And then at the very, very end, because you look at the clock, you know how much time you have left, and you've seen when to start throwing a button in. At the very end, I insisted on finishing a sentence, and finishing that sentence fucked up the entire thing and set us back 100 years. And that's when they cut the lights. It was brilliant. It was fucking brilliant. What was the scene about? I have no idea. No idea. Who were we to one another? I have no clue. And we sat in chairs. We sat in chairs kind of facing one another. Never moved. Never got out of the chairs. The entire time.
Was there a relationship established, or that was never even
established?
No,
I don't know who we were to one another. It didn't matter. It's like a camera zoomed in on two people who have a relationship but don't need to define it. in their lives, and it's like 20 minutes out of their life, and it didn't matter. They had some relationship, but it didn't matter. It's okay if we know. It's nice if we know, but it's not that important in a two-person scene, in a duo scene. And in larger formats, well, people who come after you can define who you were if you didn't do it. Next scene. Oh yeah, my mom and dad were really arguing today about the lawnmower. Yeah. Okay, great. That's who you were. Okay, who wants to go next? Let's see. We got who's left. We have an even number of people, so that's nice. So I'm going to just take from the left and move up. So one there and one there. Okay, got it? Go for it.
You said you were going to change your hair to brown. I am the blonde. Everyone's going to say we're starting to look like each other like every other couple. You have to change your hair color.
Bill, you're making my heart beat really fast.
Am I the brunette in this relationship?
I don't know, Bill. Are you?
I've always been Bill the blonde.
Maybe it's time we rethink some things, Bill, the brunette. I don't know.
Now my heart is racing.
Yeah, I can feel mine in my feet.
But Jeanette the brunette always just went together.
Well, now it's Jeanette the blonde and Bill the brunette.
Are we going to confuse the kids?
Oh. Should I chop my hair too?
Are you transitioning?
It's 2021, Bill. I mean,
I
will you help
support
me
you.
through this? Thank
Of
you.
course.
Thank you, Bill. Okay. Well, I am. I'm a boy also.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. I am. How's your heart rate?
I think it just I think I flatlined for a minute.
Scene. I'll button it right there. That was nice. Nice job. Wow, that was pretty good. Any comments from anybody before I jump in?
I just felt like I assumed it was one thing and then it was another, which was kind of refreshing not to assume.
Yeah, that's nice. Anything else? How about those of you who just did it? Any thoughts?
My heart was actually beating. So.
Amy has that effect on everybody.
Amy, you're a good brunette. Stay blonde.
I love that you established that I was Bill. That was perfect.
Yeah.
You know?
That was good, yeah.
Yeah.
That was perfect.
Bill the
I didn't
blonde.
start out as Bill, I'll tell you that. So that was great.
Okay, so I liked that scene too. I liked the previous scene for different reasons. I liked this scene for different reasons. I felt like you were not trying to get anywhere, if you know what I mean. Like you didn't have a destination in mind, and we need to get there, or we need to. If the audience doesn't understand everything about the two of us and this scene in 10 seconds, we failed. That shit. If I don't put a marker down and say this is what the scene's about right now, so you didn't do that. That's great. You did another thing that's really kind of cool, but maybe as a guy I think of it as not a big deal. Hair color, like you made a big deal out of who's the blonde and who's the brunette, and comedy usually revolves around either making a big thing out of a little thing or making a little thing out of a big thing. So you did get emotional. There were emotions. There were raised voices. There were. I felt like you were in the same room together, if you know what I mean. It didn't feel. I didn't feel this gap, which is nice. So that's kind of cool. You yes-anded, which is nice. Who wants to explain to me what yes and used to mean, but what yes and actually means? Somebody, you must know. I know you do. Down deep. Take a guess.
Well, it used to mean you would just, no matter what somebody would say, you'd say yes, you'd agree, and then add to the sentence.
Very good. Absolutely true. What does it actually mean?
I think it's more of going with your scene partner, going with them, joining them. Like when Lauren said that I was Bill, in my mind I wasn't Bill, but we're going together now. You know, instead of just being like, yes, I'm Bill and I work at Starbucks. You know, it's like Lee was saying, adding something, but instead I'm going with Lauren's input that I'm now Bill.
Mm-hmm.
Going, I don't know how to explain it.
Well, obviously you don't. You're doing a horrible job. No, that's it. That's correct. That's quite right. Correct. And another aspect of it is that Lee, what you said was, yeah, that's how it used to be looked at, and particularly in short form, in certain, yeah, it's still that. You still have to keep it short. You have to play the game. It's a different animal altogether, but yes, and used to mean, hey, you certainly, you look like you're pretty happy today. Yes, I am. And I'm really thrilled about, but it's not that. It just means don't deny a reality. If someone creates a reality, just like you said, don't say I'm not Bill, because that denies the reality and everything, and the whole dream bubble breaks. But as to little incidentals, you know, you parked the car in the wrong spot again today. You can say, no, I didn't. You don't have to agree to every fucking thing. God, that would be annoying. So yeah, so you yes-anded in the modern way of yes-anding, which is kind of cool. So that was nice. Let me see what I got here. Okay, we'll have two more do it, and then we'll just talk about more shit. But yes, here's another thing. This is one that Rosowski uses all the time. That it's a quote, and he'll say that in every damn workshop he does, and it's true. You don't need to prove to people that you're clever when you're doing improv. They will assume it, and your cleverness will come out, but you don't have to try. You don't have to push it. Be bewildered. Be unsure. Be open to change, to being pushed this way and that way, and to accepting that, oh wow, my name is Bill. I am a guy. I am going to have a sex change operation, not just a haircut. You know. So there was nothing, quote unquote, clever about that scene, if you know what I mean. I don't. That's not a put down. It wasn't clever. It wasn't. Oh, I got a punchline for that. None of that shit. You know. So less clever, more human. Okay, let's get who has not. We've got you, sir, and you,
It's
sir.
me now.
Okay.
Adam, is your video all right?
Yeah, he's good now.
It's okay on my end.
Just having some
I've
video
had
issues.
periodic issues because my internet is bad.
Okay, we better get you while we can.
Can you see me okay?
Yes, you're gorgeous.
We can see you. You're kind of choppy. I mean, we can see you, but intermittently freezing.
You look like Max Headroom.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's copy on my end too. Mm.
You want to jump out and jump back in again? Sometimes that helps.
Sure, I'll give that a shot. Sorry, y'all.
It's all right. It's life in 2021.
Too true.
Okay.
Hey, Tom. So, what do you like? StreamYard? You have like you've been trying out all the different ones now, huh?
I use StreamYard mostly. For shitty improv, I use Ecamm, which is extremely hard to use but very powerful.
Oh yeah.
And I don't use Zoom much, but hello. Oh, what happened here?
Any
He's
better?
back.
It is.
There's
Hang on.
2 Adams. Yeah, we have 2 Adams.
There we go. I got this shit.
Fake
Okay.
Adam is gone.
Okay.
We have
Okay.
real Adam now. Yes.
That's a lot better.
Black Adam is gone. Okay. Go for it, guys. Go ahead. Go.
I missed the flight, and
Again.
I'm not booking another one.
I'm starting to feel like you just don't want to come see me, man.
No, I did it for you. This is for you. You don't need me there. You're your own man. You don't need your brother tagging along and just messing up your life like every other time. It's for the best. I'm not buying another ticket.
Bro, man, this is one of the biggest weekends of my life, and you're saying you're not buying another ticket. I just don't understand the premise here. I get you're trying to teach me things. You've always been trying to teach me things.
Well,
But I feel like now it's hardly. I'm sorry. What was that?
Look at it like a lesson. You don't need me there, and I can't leave work at home, and you know that I'm just going to be distracted the whole time, and I'm going to be selling to anyone I see. That's just who I am. I'm a salesman, and you're my brother.
I get it, dude. I get it. ABC. Always be closing. I know you've drilled it all into my head my whole life. But this is one deal that you just can't. You can't just get out of, dude. This isn't a sales call. This is your little brother's biggest day of his life.
I know I don't want it to be a sales call, but I don't have a choice. It's in my blood, and that means it's in your blood too. I don't care how hard we try or how far we fly away. I'm going to be selling. Someone is buying tennis rackets, and I don't want it to be all your friends and your wife's friends. You guys are too pure for that. You don't need me ruining your life. You're going to take out loans. She's going to take out loans. I will convince every person at that vacation to buy so many more tennis rackets than they need.
Man,
I'll ruin it. I'm not doing it again. I've ruined.
Bro. It's like this though. It's like one hand I have you there, and you're my brother and I love you, and the other hand is you're ridiculously
full of tennis rackets.
These tennis rackets to everybody, and I'm like basically hated because you're there. So this is like a thing for me, man. Like I love you, but you with these freaking tennis rackets. So
Eric,
I don't know, man.
Eric, why don't you?
I want you there. That's not even.
Why don't you return my serve?
Scene. Good note. Yeah, I stopped you. You made the sale. You didn't have to sell me anymore. So, any thoughts from anybody else before I open my trap?
We never got to the big day. Why was it the big day? I liked that. You never really revealed that.
Yeah, it's like, and that was funny because I was gonna throw something in there, and I'm like, you know what? Let's leave it blank and just see if Adam wants to pick a big day, or we'll just see. We'll see if it gets brought up again.
There are improvisers and improv directors and teachers who would have a hemorrhage if you didn't get to say what the big day was. I'm not one of them. What else?
I thought it was really funny when Adam said all of your friends are going to take out the loans.
For tennis rackets.
That's very nice. Okay, let me jump in then. Adam, whoa, what the hell you been doing? You've been taking improv vitamins or something since I saw you?
No,
He's
no.
back.
You've been working with Cat Kenny, haven't you? God damn it.
No, just my little cat.
Okay, what I liked about that was obvious. There was no plot. There was a plot, but we didn't put it there. Did the tennis rackets just pop into your head?
Yeah, I don't know. I had to sell something. I don't know.
Right.
I
So
don't-
you didn't
yeah.
you didn't plan on tennis rackets. You didn't plan on any of that.
No.
Yeah, and because you didn't plan on any of that, it seemed very spontaneous and very real, you know. And the situation itself, if you wrote that down and showed it to someone, it would be a drama. It wouldn't be comedy. It would be like, shit, fuck, this is bad. This is on the waterfront, and but it's comedy, and we know it's comedy, so you can do drama, and it becomes comedy, which is nice. The back and forth was kind of nice. You didn't feel like you had to explain a lot. There was just a lot of trust in the fact that, as actors, we'll get there. So that was kind of cool. Let me. The cat is perfectly cool. So let me do my cake thing real quick. You know me and my cake thing. If you don't, I'm sorry, but I'm the cake guy, and I'm the guy who will tell you what the ingredients of cake should be. And there's some of them, right? But cake is not an ingredient of cake, as we know. And all these other ingredients, they don't look or act or feel or smell or taste like cake, but they make cake. It's the same thing with comedy. Comedy has all these things. We had anger. We just had drama. We had misunderstanding. We had despair. We had reality. We had all that stuff. All those elements of comedy were there. The one thing that you didn't put in was comedy, because you don't need to. You didn't. Comedy is not an ingredient of comedy. So you don't have to be always thinking about, how do I inject comedy into this? No, inject drama, inject surprise, inject jealousy, inject anger, inject confusion. You do that, comedy appears. The same as cake appears, even though you didn't have any to start with. And why do that? 2 words. It's easy. It's easier. It's easier. Why should you have to sit around and try to think like a comedy writer when you're on stage? And how do you get that comedy across to the other person on the scene with you? You can't. So why are you working so hard when all you need to do is life? So here's what I want to do now. I want to do some scenes with scene dynamics. We've talked about this in the past. And let me just get 2 people up. And let me see who's. I'm going to get you, and who hasn't been, and you. There you go, 2 of you. And here's what you're going to do. You're going to do a scene. It's going to be a realistic scene. In other words, boring is fine to start with. And I'm going to give you things to do. In other words, I might say that, or something else. And it's not a correction. It's not like you're not loud enough. It's like, I want you to inject something into the scene that's not there. And then do that for a tiny bit, and then go back and be normal again if you want. But keep an eye out. If this was in person, I would just make little hand signals, but I can't really do that. So start doing your scene, and I will side coach that way. Okay. And your input is non-existent. Okay. Go ahead.
You can't spend another day in your chair. We got to get you outside today. There's a whole world waiting for you out there. When's the last time you saw the sun?
Too bright anyway.
When's the last time you looked at green grass? I'm not talking about Roblox or Minecraft grass. I'm talking about real grass.
The graphics on real grass suck. Grass.
Are you just gonna be a gamer? Is this your life now?
Huh? I don't know, Mom. Maybe it is. And so what? I'm happy with it. And that's what matters. That's what they told me on YouTube.
You have a college degree, Jonathan. This is not what I paid for. My adult son living in my basement, refusing to look at grass? Refusing to look at grass.
I will look at all the grass I want online in 4K.
I don't even know what that
I went
means.
to college and know how to pull that up.
4K? When are you going to explain that to me? I don't even get it.
You never will. You're never.
I just don't understand what graphics are.
Of course you don't understand. You're old. Your generation's out. My generation's in. You're not going to accept that.
Can't believe you called me old.
It's not really meant to be an insult, Mom. It's just reality. You're just old.
I'm not old. You're the one. You live in my home with a college degree. You're the old one. I've lived a life.
I'm clearly younger.
You're not clearly anything. You don't even know what grass is. Real grass.
I know what it is, and I know how to render it.
You need to get out of your chair today. Out of your chair today.
Or what? That's why I thought you're not going to do a damn thing about it.
Well, what'd you think, the two of you?
That was fun.
Yeah, it was fun.
Was it bothersome to have those cues come up, or?
It was fun. I liked it. It was something. It was challenging to try to see it and do it.
Good. Did anybody see that when they did those things, it made a difference?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it did. It did make a difference. I don't know. I can't say that because you talked louder at one point that the scene went to a different place, or you wound up saying things that you wouldn't have said otherwise. I don't know. It's possible. When you talked over one another, anyone think that was bad or confusing?
It felt weird.
Yeah, because you're told not to do that.
Yeah.
But if you do it intentionally,
I was going to say visually, like it seems like that would actually happen in that same exact conversation. That so it just seemed real added to the realism.
Of course it would. These are improv scenes. They're not TED Talks. It's not about imparting information verbally to an audience. They're not taking notes. It doesn't matter what you say, as my cat and I proved. So now you're two people talking over one another. What message do you think that sends to us all? What message did it send to those watching? What did it say to you?
Anger, like emotion.
Yeah, anger.
And also, I was just going to say that they weren't obviously listening to each other. They both were just trying to drive home their own individual points.
which makes you think what? That these two people have probably what?
Had this same conversation before.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Love each other.
So that piece of information got transmitted without having to be said. And that piece of information was more important than anything else that was said. That, holy shit, they're revisiting this. They know each other so well. That gives a whole different context to the scene that you're seeing. It's so cool. So why do this? Why do things like that? Like talk louder, softer, more. What's the point of doing it? 2 words.
It's easy.
Yes.
It's easier.
Damn it.
I was gonna guess that.
I'm thinking of 30 words, trying to boil it down to 2.
I give you the first word. It's
It's
easier. It's easier because you don't have to be thinking about where it's going or why you're doing a thing. You don't know why I said to speak louder or just talk over one another. Neither do I. It's just so you don't need me, obviously, to do that. If you 2 people are in a scene, you make the choice to do that. Rather than sitting around in your scene thinking, what do I say next? Where's this going? Think of concrete things like, I'm going to talk louder now. I'm going to interrupt her next. We can't do it here, but I'm going to walk to the other side of the stage and turn my back on her. You don't have to know why. Why will become apparent after you do it. So all you have to think about are these dynamic moves. I go here, I do this. And the why, it's not important. You don't have to plan shit out. Just make the move. And the move will determine why you made it. It's easy. You don't have to keep the shit in your head. It's so simple. When I go into a scene, I think of a couple of things. I think, okay, I'm going to get really angry. I'm going to get really loud. I don't know about angry. I'm going to get loud. And then I'm going to just walk away. And there you go. Who knows why? And the scene really picks up energy. And then when you walk away and then you come back together again, boom, more energy. Why? Who the fuck cares? Great.
Think of like, I was going to say, so you go in with the concept of something you're going to do emotionally rather than an idea, rather than a relationship, rather than anything. Right. You're just going to at some point do this thing. It's going to create.
You could say emotionally, but it's not even emotionally at some points. It's just physical. It's just dynamically. I'm going to talk louder. That's not emotional. That's not choosing to be an emotion. That's just choosing to do a thing. I'm going to go sit down now while she's talking to me. I'm going to stand with my nose right up against her nose while she's talking to me. I'm not thinking about an emotion. I'm thinking about a move. And it will have an effect. And that effect will get bigger and bigger and bigger. And it will affect both of the people in the scene and the audience, and the scene will change. And suddenly you'll find out what your scene was about. And you didn't know it. You'll learn it. You'll learn what the scene was about by prompting each other this way. And it's easier. It's easy. You don't have to worry about emotions, about generating fake emotions. You can. They work. But it's so much. It's nice to have this in your back pocket to just say, this scene isn't going anywhere right now. I'm going to walk away and turn my back and shrug my shoulders and not answer anything that this person says for the next 30 seconds. Boom. You've just put new batteries in the scene the minute you do that. Okay. That was lovely, by the way. Let's get 2 more. Yes, it was. Let's get 2 more. Who we got? Here we got Lee. And I'll get Adam in there. Okay. Same deal. I'll give you those annoying prompts, and but otherwise, just do what you do. Go ahead.
You be careful with those fireworks. Very careful. These aren't what I normally give to some kid who just walks in and says Happy 4th of July. Your daddy called and he told me what you needed.
Did he tell you that I needed
to? I'm sorry, what's that, son?
Did he tell you that I need to blow up some frogs?
Your daddy said that you were having a little problem. He didn't want to get into detail.
Did my daddy tell you his name?
He tried to keep it pretty tight-lipped. He knows I used to be on the force, and that anything he says to me will be used in a court of law against him. So why don't you follow your daddy's lead? You take these fireworks, you do whatever it is you're going to do with whatever reptiles you're going to do them to, and you be on your way. But be careful. There's a little extra pepper in there. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I do.
I'm trying to understand. You're trying. Yeah. You're telling that to a former police officer that you're trying. When I say something, you do it. You don't. There is no try. I don't want you trying.
I just want to understand more about the force. Tell me about the force. How did you get on the force?
About the force. I put 25 years into this police station. I gave it my life, and now I'm living a happy retirement, giving people the fireworks they need, the fireworks they love. But you come in here and you don't understand a single thing.
Oh, so it's not like the force. It's more like just like the police force. I thought you were like a special force.
I don't know what it is. I don't know what they're doing over there. I'm 25 years. I give them my heart and my soul, and then it's time to retire, Mr. Jenkins. Go live your dream in the fireworks store. This isn't my dream. I just wanted to be a cop.
I want to know about the force. Tell me about the force.
I'm trying. I don't know anymore. I don't know about the force. You don't want me there.
I got so excited when you put yell at him. I was so excited for me to yell.
Once again, very nice. I thought that was very, very nice. You guys, what do you guys think? Who were watching it?
I liked it a lot. I like the dynamic between the two.
I like that
really
he was
confused. Yeah.
What's that?
The Force. You think, Star Wars or Air Force or something, and he's a retired cop,
I feel like it's pretty amazing how you put something down there, and it only occurred for a couple seconds in the scene, but it really does change everything completely, and it's only a couple seconds of changing.
Yeah, for me, these are the only things that you really need to have in your head when you're doing a scene. Yeah, you need to be obviously paying attention to what's being said, and you need to kind of make sense of what your partner is trying to do. Maybe they're sending you the actor is sending you a message. If the actor says, I get really upset when people touch my shoulder. Obviously, I'm sorry, if the character says that, then the actor is basically saying, please touch my shoulder so I can just go shit. So you have to watch for the cues that your other actor is giving you. But if you only need to have dynamics in your head, and once the scene gets rolling, let's say you're doing a 10-minute scene, maybe 2 minutes in, you don't need to worry about that anymore. You don't need to have those dynamics in your head anymore. You don't need to try and game the system anymore. By then, this sucker is rolling on its own. It's not in first gear anymore. It's in sixth gear. It's moving. So then you can throw away most of that shit and then just follow and go where it's going. And then if it starts to sag a little, then okay, I'm gonna talk over him. You know, just to get the revs up again. But you don't have to keep it in your head all the time. But I drive a stick shift. I've always driven a stick shift. First gear, and when you learn how to drive a stick shift, first gear is the hardest. Going from 0 to moving is the hardest gear. After that, it's easy. First gear is the hardest in the scene. Getting it moving. And once it's moving, and you start shifting through the gears, then it's easy. And then shit, anybody can go then. But if you spend 5 minutes of your 10-minute scene trying to get into first gear and get moving, you're lost. So, and so is the audience. So just worry about that stuff when it's necessary, the critical time, but then let it go, which is what you did. You know, it was a lovely scene. Let's jump over. Let's see who we got. We got Danny, right? And Lauren, is that right? Okay. The dynamic duo right again. Tell me about the force. So go ahead, do it, and I'll do the same thing to you that I did to the other suckers.
Dick, I don't want to date anymore, Dick. I think I'm straight. I'm pretty convinced I'm straight. You just don't do it for me anymore, Dick. It's out there. All right?
Patty, you never really did it for me either. How about that?
Yeah, well, kind of stings. I thought I'd be the one to sting. Now all of a sudden you're like a wasp, just zipping in, going to just sting me with your heartless, calloused lips. See, that's what you do all the time, Dick. This is why. These are the same. I don't even want to talk anymore. It's over.
Keep going, Patty. Keep going.
Keep going. Yeah, you want me to keep going? That's what you say. Keep going. I've been keeping going for way too long. It upsets me with your tone, your face, your attitude, everything about you right now, just driving me nuts.
Why are you getting so hot, Patty? Chill out.
Getting hot. I wish you got hot. It's like dating a refrigerator. Sometimes I think you're just like, sometimes I don't think you're human in there.
Patty,
must be important, huh?
Yeah, go on.
Say anything,
Patty. You know,
I don't see what's so goddamn funny. I mean, this has been a big portion of my life, and you're just snickering away.
Shut up, Patty. You're just blowing steam. Shut up.
Blowing steam. You're gonna see who's blowing what. You keep it up. I'm gonna be blowing everyone. How you like that? How you like them apples?
How you
like them apples?
Yeah. Well, I don't fucking care, Patty.
I'm gonna do the whole town.
Yeah.
And every time I do it, I'm gonna flip you the bird.
Oh.
I'm gonna do it in front of you.
Name a bird there, Patty.
Bird.
Bird there, Patty.
Whoa.
Big bird?
Way too aggressive. Yeah, I'm gonna get a big bird. A big bird, a little bird.
Fucking canary, huh?
Canary.
A canary. Patty, that's how you work. Canary.
See me at my lowest. I'm at my lowest. I can't get lower, and you're screaming.
You're a fucking.
I don't even want birds. I hate birds.
That's the fucking problem. You hate it all there, Patty.
Scene. These are good. Any thoughts from those who are watching? Any thoughts?
I just think the dynamics are really fun. I have trouble like in terms just remembering to use them, like particularly like just an like just change your emotion. Like I feel like I'm good at remembering like be loud or like get right in their face, but you can't do that online. And so just like
yes, you can.
When you just say like cry, like that's so funny, I think.
But you can get in people's face online. You really can.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
And you can leave. You can just screw you, man. Screw you. And you can. It works. Any thoughts for the people who are in it or anyone else?
Yeah, that was fun. I like the way that I was so like trying to just say a bunch of things and just be this person that was, trying to just like say a bunch of things. And then Lauren was just like the complete opposite, like, yeah, whatever, So it kind of brought out, impressed me to say even more. And she said even less. So it kind of created a thing.
Okay. Well, here's the thing. So that, why did I put that there? Because I had it and I need to use it? No. Because what you wound up doing, Danny, was going low status. It was her dick, her kind of being blasé about what you were so upset about meant that she didn't care that much, or that you weren't going to affect her right away. So someone needed to go low, which left it to you. So when the minute that you started to go low, which by the way, just because you're screaming and yelling doesn't mean you're not in low status. If someone is very calm and someone else is screaming at them, guess who's high status? The person who's not reduced to screaming. Now, if you're screaming at someone who's cowering, they're low status. If you're screaming because you're frustrated because the other person isn't doing, then you're low status. And then you went even lower, and then you began to cry. So when that happens, we have equilibrium is gone. We don't want equilibrium. You can't run a power plant with equilibrium. You have to have water flowing from one place to the other. Flat surfaces, lakes don't run hydroelectric dams. So we need motion. We need something from high to low for the energy to flow. So the minute you went low, boom, nuclear. So if you're going to go low, the ground isn't low enough. You got to go even lower.
Yeah, go real low.
Which is cool, right? And
yeah, I like that.
Works. Yeah. So that's really cool.
I was curious if I would have got to cry without you putting it up there. Like, I wonder if I would have eventually got there, or would I have just like avoided it for some reason?
I don't know. Most guys won't. Actually, most women won't either. Most women refuse to do that. They don't want to. They don't want to be weak on stage. That I've coached anyway. That they really try to outmaneuver the other person and not be the one who's wrong and the one who's stupid or the one who is crying or upset. Which is a shame, because that's where the fucking gold is. And it's in the valleys, not on the peaks. But that scene worked really well because there was that ramp, and I know that it's not in everybody's nature in a scene to start really screaming at the other person. Why the fuck not? Why the fuck not? I had a guy push me over a chair once. He just shoved me over a chair and I fell over. And good. His character was so pissed off. He shoved me over a fucking chair and good. Good. I wish you would have done it every fucking night. And the audience was good. We want the audience to go, great. They'll come. You give them enough, they'll come back. So any general thoughts now that we're here together and it's time to go?
I missed this. This is good stuff.
Yeah, this is really
thank
good, man.
you.
I like the new format and all the stuff. This is great stuff, Tom.
Yeah.
I just have a question.
Yeah.
Is it ever okay to do a scene about doing improv?
Yes, we do. We do meta scenes all the time. But I would do it rarely. But sometimes we do it, and it's clear that we're just at that point in a show, and it's like, I'm going to make fun of the fact that so and so said the wrong thing two formats ago, and I'm not going to let him forget it for the rest of the show. So he said hamburger wrong, and I'm going to jump. I'm never going to let the audience forget it, or I'm going to point out some bullshit thing that an improviser did that was clearly a bad idea. The audience sees it. You can't hide it. So it's never, I wouldn't do it all the time. Meta shit doesn't work all the time, but every once in a while, the audience likes to feel like they're in on this inside joke. So it's not wrong. No, most things aren't wrong. So, any other thoughts or comments?
I just am thankful. So thank you for including me. I learned a lot, and it was really good. Half of us when we were introducing ourselves said we were really rusty, and I think that is just saying we're not as confident as, but I think, you're helping us with that. We have these hurdles and the tips and the tricks and all. I need this. I'm grateful.
Well, good. Keep coming back.
It works if you work it.
I don't want to keep you guys any longer. But I do want to do the thing where we all go around and say a thing. So we'll start with you, Lauren. What do you got? One thing.
Okay. I'm so grateful to just do this tonight. I was petrified. Like my heart was beating the whole first 15 minutes. And then you said, let's do a scene. But I feel so great now afterwards. So thanks for getting this back going. And I hope we continue it. And I hope that everybody keeps showing up because it was really fun.
Good. Danny, what you got?
Yeah, this was great, man. I really am sorry about the late thing. It wasn't much of my control, and I apologize. But yeah, this is great. I know, Amy, I just saw you a week ago, and whoever hasn't reached out to Tom and tried any of the awesome stuff he's doing, man, it really is a lot of fun, and it's great. So thanks a lot, Tom.
Mm-hmm. Marissa.
This was so much fun.
Yeah, let's just make this about what a great person I am.
You said say a thing. All I could say is it was fun, and I'm happy I was able to be a part of it. I hope there's more.
Good. Fuck me. You said say a thing. I said a thing. Go fuck yourself.
You know what, Tom? Forget all this.
There you go. Amy, anything to add?
It just feels good to be back. So I appreciate the opportunity. I kind of said my thing already, but
okay, good.
I'm just thankful.
Adam, you or the cat have anything to say?
No, I was finally quiet. The thing that Tom said that resonated the most with me was about like being in the on deck circle and using the heavy donut on your bat to like make it easier when we can come back in person. Like you can ask some of these people, I'm very negative about online improv. I struggle with it, and I struggle watching it, and I struggle doing it. But when you put it in that context of this will just make it easier the next time you're actually in person, I think I can wrap my head around it a little better and give into it a little more. So that's a good way to think of it. And I could probably use that point of view adjustment now and then. I
feel the same way, which is why in all these months I haven't really hosted, had Doghouse Theater do an improv show. We do Read My Lips, which is improv, but it's not scenic improv. And now we do shitty improv, but at least we call it shitty improv. And we do a game show. in all this time, I haven't had people do square prov. I just don't know how I feel about why anybody would watch it, other than improvisers. But I could be wrong, because shitty improv is actually funny. Lee, what do you got?
I thought this sucked.
Wait a minute.
I couldn't wait for this thing to be over. I mean, let's get me out of here.
Okay. I'm sorry, say it again.
Right? It's funny. I enjoyed it. One of the biggest things
Of course, we can't hear him.
We got
You can't hear me now?
it. We hear you. We hear you. Just
Okay. One of the things I missed the most about this COVID thing was the Thursday nights and the first 20 minutes of where are you? And just talking about improv and things that are going on. And, you know, so this was good. I got a feeling of like a little bit of that.
Yeah.
Me too.
Okay. Well, this is like a COVID shot. You can get another one in next week.
I got a quick question though. I got a quick question.
Yeah.
Because a few of us in our group, we were meeting Wednesday nights to do improv outdoors. Would you be open maybe on Thursday to get people meeting at your theater, maybe around 6:37, meeting outdoors and just doing some stuff?
Nope.
All right, good talk.
No, I would be a hypocrite if I encouraged people to do live improv.
Right.
But we're hoping maybe by July we can get things back to normal.
Tom, I believe this is the point where you say good things about all of us.
Okay.
Fuck you all.
Oh, I can't hear you. Sorry, the video's cutting out.
There's only one outcome to that, and it's that. Yeah, I gotta go. It's time to go. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Nice to see everyone.
Bye.
Good to see you.
You too. Bye.
Bye, guys.